For the first time in Evelyn Foster's very proper and correct 16 years of life, she was about to do something horrendously, unspeakably naughty, and contrary to what one might think, that she was young and impulsive, and therefore experiencing a thrill from the wickedness, she was not the slightest bit thrilled. In fact, she would even go so far as to say she was vexed, irritated, and most decidedly angry, for she would never have entertained such a notion herself, that it might be amusing for her and her best friend Penelope to sneak into the boys' dormitory at Eton while everyone was at supper. Perhaps the most distressing part of it all was that they were sneaking in because of him. Lord Martin Langdon, the Duke of Wentworth's younger brother, the mischievous boy who was always getting into trouble for various wild antics, like engineering a teetering bucket of water over his precept's door, or sending a raft down the Thames, fashioned with exploding fireworks, directly below Windsor Castle, when the Queen herself was in residence. On top of all that, Lord Martin was, at 17, already known to be a self-proclaimed womanizer. He was an objectionable, disreputable young man, and Evelyn knew it in the clearest realms of her intellect. So why was she having any part of this? She asked herself for the 100th time, shaking her head as she crossed a moonlit field with Penelope. She was there because her beautiful blonde friend fancied herself in love with the rascal, and could not be talked out of it, and Evelyn could hardly sit home, wondering what would transpire, because, though she hated to admit it, she had her own strange and confusing fascination with him.
"Hurry up, Evelyn,"
Penelope whispered, as they scuttled through the dark side streets toward the campus, dressed in boys' clothing they had borrowed from Penelope's younger brother.
"We don't have much time, and I don't want to get caught on the way out."
"I'm coming, and I must be mad," Evelyn thought, feeling the chilly night air on her cheeks as she quickened her pace to keep up. At that moment, Penelope began to jog, and they hurried across the street, keeping their heads down beneath the brims of their tweed caps. At long last they reached the iron gate outside the chapel, and Penelope pushed it open. Evelyn winced at the piercing screech of the hinges.
"Doesn't anyone own an oil can?" "Don't worry yourself,"
Penelope said.
"Follow me."
They crossed the tiny cemetery, but stopped suddenly when a beagle barked at them from the other side of the fence. Evelyn jumped with fright.
"Goodness, what next?"
Penelope grabbed her arm and pulled her toward the back of the chapel.
"Ignore him. We're almost there. I know a place where we can squeeze through the fence and get into the courtyard."
Evelyn was breathing hard now, not enjoying this at all.
"I think we should turn around. We're going to get caught, and if my father finds out—"